Yo, yo. How you doing, folks? Everyone good? Just doing an audio check. Yeah, that's sounding good to me. Sounds good to me. Let's get them off for the moment. How the hell are you? Everyone good? How you doing, Ian? Thank you. Daddy Horn, how are you, my friend? Yeah, of course. You feel free to ring in, Daddy. As soon as you see the strip across the bottom here that says "Give me a bell," then you're free to give me a ring, my friend. How you doing, Roger? Are you Double D? Psycho's missus, how are you? Good stuff. Hi, Lindsay. Athelstan. President-elect Lee Peach, how you doing? How you doing, John? Andrew, how are you, my friend? How was my V-Day? Amusing. How you doing, Jake? Nice to see you, Stevie. Well, I know it's a bit of an impromptu one this evening, folks. Obviously, Sunday I didn't get on, and I did say that I was going to do Monday or Tuesday, and I've just not had a chance. So, my apologies for that. I think you've seen I've been busy the last few days popping out vids, and yeah, I've just had stuff to do. So I apologise for the lack of live stream. So hence why I've jumped on tonight, which probably isn't the best night to jump on because what's his name? Um, why can't I remember his name? Oh my goodness, why can't I remember his bloody name? Alex Belfield. Thank you, Lindsay. Just completely went blank there. Yeah, I know Alex Belfield will be doing his live stream this evening as well. And with nearly 200,000 subscribers on his channel, chances are there's going to be a few of ours that are over on his live stream. But do you know what? I couldn't leave it any longer because last night I had a notification from a program that I use to monitor my YouTube to say that I've had 5 million views now. Now, I'm not sure whether that 5 million is to do with how many people have looked at my channel. It can't be how many video views I've had because I've had way more than that. So I'm assuming it's how many people have looked at the channel. But out of 5 million people, well, 5 million views, we've still only got 25, 26, how many thousand? God, I should really prepare myself a little better. Let's have a look. Where are we? 27.6 thousand subscribers out of 5 million views is, I've got to say, pretty poor. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm missing here, but I'm clearly missing something if I've only got 27.6 thousand subscribers, and not only because obviously that's amazing, but out of 5 million views. But anyway, I suppose we must crack on. By the way, if you're not subscribed, the last live stream that I've done, we had 39 subscribers in that live stream, which is absolutely incredible, and it's the most amount of new subscribers I've had through a live stream. But as soon as we hit 30,000, I've got a camcorder which I'll be giving away. So, and I'll just show you what one it is, just so you're aware. It's an HD mini camcorder, 24 megapixels, 3-inch TFT LCD touchscreen, 16 times digital zoom, and that is what I'm going to be giving away as soon as we hit 30,000 subscribers. Once we hit 50,000 subscribers, then I'm going to be getting a tattoo, a channel related tattoo. But, you know, I'm actually really looking forward to getting that done, because once I get 50,000, I know that, you know, we're not going anywhere. You know, I'll have enough subscribers at 50,000 to be able to go to another platform should need be, and be able to start again without having to start from zero, so to speak. So yeah, so we want to get to 50,000 and get that new tattoo, which is going to be something along the lines of another skull, a bit like that, another skull, but wearing a policeman's helmet. So, how you doing, DJ Vix? Yeah, it's gone. It's not there this week. Well, Gold Eagle, I saw Live Free's video earlier. I know that they're saying that they're done, and you know they're not going to be able to do what they've been doing. But that's not necessarily the case. I don't think. Need to know a little bit more about what's been said at the police station in order to work that out. But I personally, I don't think that they're going to prison as they seem to suggest they are. It is more, in my opinion, it's more of a tactic just to annoy people. I mean, but they've done it. They did it with Joe Public. And they've done it with other people where they've given them they've arrested them on really shitty charges in order to give them really shitty bail conditions to teach them a lesson. Okay, because the police can have you on bail for as long as they want, all right, under investigation, with some really terrible conditions to your bail, just to teach you a lesson. They don't have to charge you at the end of it. You got to remember that. You know what I mean? So, I don't think it's as bad as they might think it is, in my opinion. But again, we need to know a bit more about what's going on, and we only know a certain amount. So, what might I have missed? Maybe Dan didn't see it. What might I not have? What might I have missed? Hi, Athelstan. Oh, my apology. Oh, I see. My apologies, John. I don't always. It's on top chat again rather than live chat. What kind of happens is when, I don't know if you've ever done a live stream or not. When you do a live stream, your comments feed goes on top chat, which doesn't necessarily show every single comment that's coming through. And I often forget that it's on top chat rather than live chat. So I've just changed it to live chat. If I've missed anybody's comments, my apologies. As most people should know, is I will always try and answer as many people as possible. So if I do miss a comment, just repeat it. I will see it eventually, and I will get round to responding to as many people as possible. I do have StreamYard, Daddy Horn. I don't often use it, but it is something that I could and would do if somebody's got a story that they want to share. and it's something that we pre-arrange. If we've got like a half-hour slot, for example, we can do a half-hour interview with somebody through StreamYard, and then I'll use it for that kind of thing. But generally, I'll do it this way with the Skype. How you doing, Dean? Notice anything in the background there, Dean? I don't, to be honest, Daddy Horn. I don't use credit on the Skype. I can put it on at some point. I haven't so far. Simply, it's easier for me when I'm doing a live stream to let people call in rather than call people. But again, if it's something that we've pre-arranged and you want to have a chat, then we can do that, separately, to a live stream, which I can do. I'm gonna have to go and get it. There we go. That's a little gift that came through my door, and it wasn't attached to a police constable either. But that is wooden. That is a proper wooden one. Thanks to Dean, I believe, if I remember the packaging. But that's what we got. But you know what's going to happen now, don't you? Now I'm showing this off on here. I'm going to get someone knocking on the door accusing me of having an offensive weapon. But such is life. It will go with the helmet. No innuendos meant with that one, by the way. It's a tool of joy. Daddy Horn, the next live stream after today will probably be on Sunday. I'll get back to normal. It's just, as I say, this week has been a bit of a hectic one with things to do. So I do apologise for the lateness of this live stream. I also have now two sets of handcuffs on the way as well. Again, all of this stuff is just to go, just to go on the walls behind me, just as, some decoration. But I've got two sets of solid, the solid handcuffs, and they should be with me, in the next few days. So I've got a big helmet, an 18-inch truncheon, and two sets of handcuffs. What is YouTube doing to me? Graham Nuts, how are you, my friend? Scott says to give you his number. The problem is, Vic, the numbers that I get that come through on Skype, there's only two that I've written down. because it doesn't come up with a name or anything like that, and I can't write the numbers down after every time I speak to somebody, so I don't actually have that number. If Scott wants to email me and with his number, then I can pass that on to you. I'm quite happy to do that. A dungeon with chains. I've got no underneath. I've got no floor under here. Like no room. There's no dungeon. There's no cellar. I've not even got a loft. I live in a block of flats. Daddy Horn. Did you email me with your number, Daddy Horn? My email box is set to delete after a certain amount of time, because I try not to delete emails in case I use one for a report and I need to go back and check it afterwards, for example, or if I forget who gave me the link to a report. But they are set to destroy after a certain amount of time. If you want to send me an email, Daddy Horn, with a number, and I'll pass that on to Vicky for you. I ain't got anything upstairs either. John, I'll be honest, I've not been through my WhatsApps for at least a few days. I need to go through them. So my apologies if I've not got round to responding to your message. I will get to that at some point. How you doing, the daddy? How you doing, Shelley? How you doing, DJ Samuel? I'd love a whistleblower to come on. I'd absolutely love a whistleblower to come on. I saw something on Facebook the other day about an alleged nurse who emailed somebody and said that the government are saying that all NHS frontline staff are getting a jab, but apparently they've just been told to say that in order to get people to take the jab. If there was somebody out there that wanted to come on anonymously, obviously, who could maybe provide some evidence that might be occurring, then I would be more than happy to speak to somebody. I always try and be respectful to everybody, as you know. So yeah, I'm more than happy to speak to anybody if they want to get something off their chest, so to speak. I also want to thank everybody as well who filled in the poll in the community tab on the channel. Let me just bring it up, because I know it was a close call. Oh, come on, load. You're not going to load, are you? Right, your channel. That's what I want. Community is what I want. So, since I've changed the format, over the last few weeks, the format's changed on the channel when I'm putting out these shorter videos. Now, I have to say that analytically, it is doing the channel a lot of good. Okay. I'm not making, I'm making a few pennies, a few pounds each month extra, but not a great deal at the moment. However, numbers on each of the videos are slightly more than they were on the longer videos, and that is a good thing. Okay, so I am really pleased that I made that change in respect of growth for the channel. When I put the poll in the community tab, I asked you whether you loved the new video format, the shorter ones, whether you hate the new shorter video format, or whether you like the new video format but you'd like to see the occasional longer format. Now, what has happened is 44% said they love the new shorter video format. 50% said it's good, but they would like to see the occasional longer format. So at the moment, that one's winning. So what the situation is, and you may have noticed the week before last, I think it was, is I'd done a longer video on the Friday. So that was all of the short videos throughout the week that weren't long enough to warrant their own video. I saved them until the Friday and I put them all out in a longer video on the Friday. That's what I'm going to try and do. Okay, so I'm going to try and do, or I'm going to do shorter videos throughout the week, but any of the videos that come up as less than 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes in length, I'm going to save them and put them all in a Friday video and do the longer videos on there. Okay, on the Friday. So I think that is a good compromise, or I hope that's a good compromise. Yeah, to do, you see, to do the shorter videos one day and then a long video the next day, then the shorter videos, then a long video, it gets very confusing. So in order, if I just save the videos that are too short and put them all out on a Friday, then at least I'm still giving people a half-hour watch, so to speak. But again, with regards to the shorter videos, that is genuinely showing that it's helping the channel in the channel analytics, and I'm here for the community, and I'm here to help people where I can. But what I would like to do is I'd like to grow the channel as well, obviously, and that's where I want to go. So much appreciated for everybody that gave me their opinion on that poll the other day. How are we doing for likes? 103 people viewing, 41 likes. Come on, guys. If you don't like the channel, you don't have to watch. But if you like the channel enough to watch one of these live streams, please just hit that like button, because that really does help. How you doing, C-Rex? You got a €300 fine for pulling your mask down to take a drag of a cigarette. But yet, I've seen pictures of orchestras wearing a mask with a bloody hole cut out here so they can play their instruments. I mean, what? Really? How you doing, Kenneth in New York? Nice to have you with us. Well, you know what, Richard? It's what I said in the report earlier, isn't it? With regards to the police, West Midlands Police issuing fines. The Police and Crime Commissioner candidates from previous years have written rather an open letter to West Midlands Police, basically telling them to stop it. Now, obviously, they're not going to listen, but it's nice to hear and see that we've got people like the Police and Crime Commissioner candidates who obviously have a particular standing in their communities, having a say, and putting it out there that the police are taking a piss ultimately. DD's not talking to you. Oh, okay. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea, Daddy Horn. I genuinely have no idea. Um, I'm confused as well under a blood red sky. I can see Double D's just messaged there anyway for you. I don't know if you've seen that. You're not in chat as Scott Andrew Horn. There's no one in chat as Scott Andrew Horn. Not that I've seen. I can only see Daddy Horn. Your friend stopped because he can't wear a mask. That's COPD. Right. Double D, can you see an account chatting to you called Scott Andrew Horn? Or can you just see the Daddy Horn account? You're talking to Daddy Horn. Right. Scott, she says she's talking to you as Daddy Horn. She's writing Scott, I think, because she knows your name is Scott. So she's not actually talking. She's not responding to an account called Scott. If that makes sense. No, Daddy Horn. Listen up a minute. Double D said that she's responding to your Daddy Horn account at the moment, and she knows your name is Scott, which is why she's saying Scott. She's not replying to the Scott Horn account. She's replying to the Daddy Horn account. Honey Badger, how you doing? OG in Texas. Nice to have you on. Daddy Horn, listen, all I can. No, she's replying to you in the live chat at the moment. She might not be tagging you. She might not be putting at Daddy Horn. Instead of that, she's writing Scott rather than at Daddy Horn, which would tag you. But I can see her responding to you because you've said no, she's not, and she said yes, I am. So I can see that she's responding to you. Can you not see? Can you not see Double D writing in the chat? The lines will be opening very shortly. I don't want to be on till 1 o'clock tonight. So we'll be opening the lines shortly, and I'll be looking at closing up around 11:30, hopefully. So human husbandry, how you doing? Oh, don't worry, Jake. It's all good. Midnight then, yeah, you could be right. Where's Graham going? Is he going to make a cuppa? I'll be doing 127 people on. Okay. I'm going to give it 3 more minutes, so we'll get 25 to 10, and we'll open these lines up. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. I'm sorry to hear that, Daddy Horn. Unfortunately, there are people out there that kind of live to wind people up and and cause problems. So I'm sorry that you've had some trolling this week or last over the weekend. Yeah, you got about 2.5 minutes to get your kettles on and get your cup of teas made, because I'll be opening these lines up very shortly. And remember, when these lines are open, you can share a story. You can whistleblow if you like. That's what I'm hoping for at some point, to have a whistleblower. You can just talk crap and just talk about anything you like if you want, or you can call me names, because I've got thick skin, and your name calling will not hurt my feelings. so, so feel free to pick from any one of those. I think I've not done too bad for trolls myself recently. I've not really had many going on. Yes, James Scott is a good guy. Yeah, I agree. I need a haircut. I'm trying to this. I'm doing this for you guys. Right, look at this wrong side. Look at this shine here. Right, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grow my hair enough to stop the reflection blinding you all. The girls are asleep in the other room at the moment. Oh, it's definitely not blonde. Look, that is definitely not blonde. That is grey, because I'm getting old. Right, okay. Let's get this ready, because here we are. Status active. Are we active? We're active. Right, now I've not tested this since the last time I was on, so we'll test it now. Give it a go, folks. 01515289590. Share your story, whistleblow, talk crap, call me names. I don't care. It's up to you. Let's get some phone calls on the go. Here we go with our first. Hello, Vic.
Hello.
How are
How are
you?
you? I'm not bad, Dan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Could you just turn your sound in the background down a touch, please?
I thought I had.
I'm getting some feedback.
You still getting feedback?
No, no, I'm
Right.
not. That's it, all gone. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I wanted to let you know I still haven't received my jumper yet.
Okay. I if you could email me the email that you received, your
Here
your
we
in,
go.
your invoice. If
Oh,
you
I'm going to go through the whole of my inbox. Oh, here
no,
we
no, just
go.
search. Just no, just do a search. There should be a search function, and just put in Spreadshirt. So search for
Okay.
Spreadshirt, and it should bring up a short list of emails that you've had from them or that mention Spreadshirt, and then you should be able to find your invoice for your purchase, and then send that to me, forward it on to me, and I will see what I can do. I can't promise that I can do anything myself, but I will
Well,
get
I
in
just
touch
thought
with
I'd
them
let
with
you
the
know
info.
because obviously, you'd want to know these things. But what happened? The courier that I think was delivering it, like delivered it at a stupid o'clock at night, and I was having trouble with my head. And then when I went out to see if anything was outside, there was nothing there. So, and that was the only thing that I was expecting was your jumper. So I'm pretty sure that they just threw it outside, and which is a bit stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's no reason why they couldn't knock on the door.
I didn't do any of that. This is what happened with Dee Dee sent me a parcel recently, and we were literally on the phone to each other at the time, and when they were delivering it, and they didn't knock on the door at all. They just left it there, and it was a signed for parcel as well. So I'm not
Oh,
having much luck with the Royal Mail, especially with you at the moment, because of what happened with the PAP cards. Remember?
yeah, I know. Well, see my postman has been actually really good. He just hands me stuff. He don't get, he's fine. He just, he's got letters, he's got parcels. He'll just hand it to me. None of this knock on the door, take a few steps back, and go, oh, it's down there. Don't come near me. None of that rubbish. You know what I mean? So I've been pretty lucky in that respect. But yeah, send me that.
You're
Send
trying
me
to
a
rub
copy.
my face in it, are you? Do you want a
Yeah,
slap?
yeah, of course. Hey, don't threaten me or get me truncheon on you.
That's a promise. Lay down.
So yeah, so I'll see what I can do. I can't promise anything, but I will do what I can. Obviously,
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Fuck's sake. Sorry, guys, but damn it. What do you have to bring that out for? All people already think I'm a pervert. As it is.
but you are, aren't you?
I'm actually not, but I think I'm going to be the first person on YouTube to have a bloody heart attack.
John, no, I don't think it was sent by Hermes. I don't think. I can't remember who delivers it now, but I don't think it was Hermes.
Oh, it's probably Santa Claus. The amount of parcels that go missing around it, blame it on Santa Claus. The Royal Mail probably will, or if it wasn't them, I don't know who your firm uses, but I just thought I would let you know and that, and just see how you were doing and everything, because we've hardly seen you, so we thought you were getting your leg over or something all week or something exciting, but
Busy, busy man, me. Always busy.
that wasn't a denial, though, was it?
Busy, busy man, me. Always busy.
It's still not a denial, so we'll take that as a yes then.
So how's the weather been down there, Vic?
Oh, Dan's being a tart. I love it. Well, you've got to when you've got those itches, you've got to give it a good scratch, haven't you, Dan? Like you did on your nose the other week. That was one big scratch, mate.
Yeah, I'm still sticking to my story that was to do with the coconut stuff.
That was carpet burn or funny burn, mate. Come on. We are wise women of the world. We know these things, and and you're going red and red. So
I'm not saying a word. Not saying a word.
you don't have to. Your face is saying plenty.
Well, I listen. I'm using my right to stay silent in case I self-incriminate.
You're pleading the fifth, are you?
Yeah, that'll do.
The fifth, sixth, and seventh.
Oh,
I
dear.
just thought I'd give you a call and wind you up because you look pretty tense. So I thought I'd mentioned about the jumper, and then I thought I'd just rip the piss out of you because you said I could.
Yeah, well, it's there on the screen. Call me names. That does include taking a piss if you like. I don't mind. As I say, I have thick skin.
I don't want to know anything about your thick skin, my love.
So that weren't me that instigated that one.
You never have to with me though, Dan. You know, us two are like when we were on the phone to each other. It's terrible. The innuendos come flying out, and if like the police or something were listening to our phone calls, they're thinking, "Dirty perverts. We need to
Don't.
arrest them right
Whoa,
now."
whoa, whoa! Don't be blaming me for that, young lady.
Well, you were saying that you're having handcuffs delivered to your house, and it's
I
like,
am.
yeah,
That's nothing
yeah,
to do with innuendos. They're going on the wall behind me
on the wall. Right,
as
okay.
decorations.
You're digging yourself a big hole here, Dan. You really are. It's like handcuffs on the wall, then turns to chains, and it turns to other stuff. So
That's a whole different channel. I haven't started that one yet.
that's not what we heard. You know, the cops talk on the grapevine, and no, that's not what they're saying. They said, well, "Watch out for that pappy's a kinky arsehole."
Well, they would know.
Well, yeah, they put you in the cuffs a few times. I bet you enjoyed that too, didn't you?
Well, sometimes it depends who's putting the cuffs on, but we'll leave that at
Mind you,
that.
saying that, when you got nicked that night, they were pretty beefy blokes, and I don't think you probably would have enjoyed that. If they were women, maybe, but you actually didn't look as though you were enjoying yourself. But who knows with you sometimes? You're pretty good at masking how you're feeling. How are the dogs anyway?
The dogs are fine. Daisy had a bit of a sicky moment just before I came on live, and I had to clean that up with her face. No, I didn't,
With
by
the
the way. Just before I get the RSPCA knocking on the door, I cleaned it up with tissue, not with her face.
better, I suppose.
Oh, excuse me. But yeah, no, the girls are fine, thank you.
Oh, I suppose you've got any tissues left
Not in
with the
here, I
week
haven't.
you've had.
Not in here. I have to use the dead cat. So
Well, if I ever come round your house, I'm not going to be touching anything like that because I did say I'd meet up with you and walk the dogs, but I'm not going to be touching any of or your dead cat because I don't know what I'll get.
dear, oh dear.
I have to come up with a sterile outfit just in case.
Well, people will soon be knocking on the doors with sterile outfits anyway, no doubt. Checking
Right,
for
you
your.
are.
Oh, who's that? Come here then. Come here then. Somebody's come in to say hello.
Oh,
Hello.
is it Daisy or is it Alice?
Both of them have come in now.
Oh, bless them.
Daisy was crying at the door. Sorry, Alice was whinging at the door. Right, get down, fatty. Get down.
Oh,
Get down. Come on in.
good evening, girls.
And here's the other one.
Oh, I love your dog. This is what I want to come down and walk your dogs for you because
You can have the
Leo
bloody
would-
dogs.
oh, my neighbours would love that. I mean, they can't stand it with Leo as it is. I don't think I could cope with 3 dogs and 2 cats. It'd drive me crazy.
Right,
Not that your dogs aren't nice, but
Down, get.
they're beautiful.
No, that's it, Alice. Go away now till the end. Nobody likes you.
Oh.
Go away.
I do. She's lovely, and Daisy as well. But I'm glad they're well.
They've gone.
Well, I'll let some other dirty perverts call you up and give you some shit because I'm probably started the ball rolling now.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
You have a wonderful evening, Dan, and we'll speak to you another day with what I wanted to talk to you about anyway, because it wasn't obviously this.
No, no problem at all. Give us a message beforehand, and I'll let you know when I'm
Of
free.
course, because I don't want to be disturbing any shenanigans that you might have going on, or any handcuff moments, or chains, or whatever you're doing. You have a
All
good
right.
evening, Cam, and I hope your stream goes okay and you don't have any black screen moments or anything.
So do I. So do I. But
Not like
we'll see
last
how we
time.
go. All right.
You
It's
stay safe, Dan.
nice to speak to you again, and I will speak to you again soon.
You certainly will. Take care, sweetheart.
Bye.
Bye, Dan.
Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Who's this?
My name's Avery.
How you doing? Avery, did you say?
Yeah.
How you doing, Avery? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Jolly good. I'm good, thank you. Very good. Sorry, just one sec, Avery. Rick, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Sorry, Avery, go ahead.
I was just calling to let your viewers know of an app that I have recently found out for filming the police.
Okay.
It's called Why Stop. And on this app, you can film the police, complain about the police, and it's specifically designed for that. So everyone be sure to download that.
Right, okay. So, what was it? Why
Stop?
Why stop? I think Marty Blackburrow did a video on this some months ago, if I remember rightly. I might not be correct, but I'm sure he did something about it. But to be fair, I was actually looking into creating something for some kind of an app for the channel which would allow people to film things and upload it and obviously keep it safe. But that's something that's not going to be for a while anyway. But if Why Stop is there at the moment in order to film and keep videos safe, then obviously it's a good thing to be looking into. So thank you for the information, much appreciated.
And if anyone forgets their rights during a stop and search, you can also see your rights on there.
Well, thankfully, during the stop and search, I don't know how long you've been watching the channel, Avery. I create these cards to go in people's wallets. I don't know if you're looking at the screen at the moment or not, but I have these what are called PAP cards that go in people's pockets, which explain people's rights under a stop and account, under a stop and search, which are two very different things, and also a vehicle stop as well. So that's something that I do, but obviously some people may prefer to have the information on the app, which is all there together for them. So yeah, again, good information. So thank you for bringing that up. Is it something that you've already got? Have you downloaded it?
I have it, and I've used it twice.
Okay, cool. What kind of incidents? Do you mind me asking?
One stop and account, because the police hate me in my area, and I filmed someone else's stop and search as well.
Okay, cool. Well, again, with regards to filming somebody else's stop and search, one of the things that I want to do, again, this is things that take time, but I want to set up what I have called the Police Accountability Project, where people who watch the channel and subscribers, if they see an incident going on, and it's not just about uploading footage for content, it's about protecting other people as well, because we all know, people that watch these kind of channels or this kind of content, we all know that there are people out there that are being abused by dodgy police. Yes, some people are getting arrested and they deserve to be arrested. They might fight back, and they need to have that reasonable level of force used against them in some cases, but unfortunately there's too many that are having force used against them unlawfully, or being detained unlawfully. And if we can then have like a group of people or a network of people in different areas of the country that are keeping an eye out for things like this and doing the filming for them, because some people may not know that they can film. They may not even think about filming for themselves while they're in that situation. But if we've got a network of people that are doing that, we can then highlight these misjustices as well on the channel. So it's nice to hear that you're already doing that and helping other people by filming their interactions. So fair play to you for that.
I I'll let someone else bully you now.
I'm sure there'll be plenty.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too, Avery. Thank you for calling in. Much appreciated. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello, mate.
Hello, who am I talking to?
Dan from Wales.
Hello there, how are you?
Mate, how do I get one of them cards? Because I've had a bit of trouble with the filth, you know?
Right, I have a video. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the link to the video and I'm going to pop it in the comments. So if anybody else is interested, then they'll be able to do the same thing. So just bear with me 1 second while I find it.
Because I was stopped on a stop and search.
Okay.
And I refused a swab because I'm a disabled person.
You refused a swab?
Yeah, they said a suspicion of cannabis in the car.
Right,
Yes.
okay. Which, see, unfortunately, a refusal to swab is actually...
only because of the COVID-19.
Okay, which I can understand, and that would probably be a reasonable argument if it got to court.
I've never refused a swab before.
Okay.
Anyway, I refused. I live 300 yards away from my house.
Right.
I phoned, first of all, the police wouldn't let me basically phone my son, who is my full-time carer, to come and help me out of my vehicle to put me into the police car because he was arresting me.
Right.
So basically, like I said, I live 300 yards away from where the police stopped me.
Right.
So then the police actually picked me up out of my vehicle and kind of slumped me in the back of a police car, in a police van, which I thought was a bit against my human rights and that, you know?
Well,
the way I was treated.
It would depend on how they done it. It's very difficult for me to pass comment on that because I'd need to see exactly how they handled you in that respect. So,
First of all, they put me at this because of the COVID. I got health issues. I hadn't been near anyone for like 5 months.
Right.
And yet there was 4 police officers around my car, in my car, searching my car. And then I had to cuddle 2 of them to put me in a police van. And then they took me to the police station. I was carried out by one of the same officers and a different officer again.
Okay.
Taken into the police station. Refused to go into a police cell because, like I said, I'm in a wheelchair. And if I needed toilet issues, I can't sit on one of them toilets, and we've got no disabled toilets.
Right, okay.
So basically then I was interviewed. I admitted to not having a swab because of COVID-19. I was still refused because of COVID, and I still asked them I would do it myself in front of them. I didn't want to put myself at risk anymore.
Right. Now,
anyway, they charged me. I had to go to court. And then they took me from the police station, carried me to the police van with different officers again, then took me to my vehicle and let me drive home.
okay. So did you? So you haven't been to court?
I've been to court. I told them. I've been to court. I told them that I've never refused a swab before. I've had 3 swabs in 2 years. And I only refused this now because of health issues and the 4 police officers around my vehicle. Because they didn't really care in the world of my fan settlement. And I'm a full-time wheelchair user. And
Okay.
And I'm just hoping now to make a complaint against the police because I phoned citizens' advice and they said there's about 5 things apparently that they've already done, but a kind of assault.
Right.
They
Now,
put me in there.
when did this happen? How long ago did this happen?
July the 12th.
July the 12th. Okay. Now, there's not going to be any, if they were wearing body cam footage, that will all be deleted now because they're only obliged to keep that for a month. So that.
And I couldn't film. My phone was going to die and I couldn't do nothing. And like I say, I'm a disabled person, full-time wheelchair user. And there was just nothing I could do. I was picked out my visa. I suffer with brittle bones as well. And they just took me out of my vehicle and didn't really care me. You know, it was absolutely devastating.
Right. Just give me 1 second. Darren, I've just timed you out because not because you're being rude. You're not saying things that that are against my values on this channel. But I don't want people thinking that they can't come on and talk about their situations because they're going to have the piss taken out of them. So please have some respect for people that phone in, whatever their issue is, even if they just want to phone up and talk, okay? Because that's part and parcel of what this community is about. So please do not take the piss out of people when they're phoning up and they're talking to me about their personal situations. Thank you. My apologies for that. Now you say you spoke to citizens' advice. Have you done a subject access request and asked for any of the information that from your arrest? What I would suggest you need to do is you need to contact. I've got a video that tells you how to do that on the channel. But what you need to do is you need to write to the police and you need to ask them for a subject access request for all of the information that they've got surrounding that incident. So you're going to need the date that it happened, where it happened, etc. What they'll do then is they will get all of the records from your arrest. Now, what it will show in those records, hopefully, which may help you with pursuing something, is that whether or not they've written down any information about your disability, whether or not they've written anything down about how they dealt with your disability, for example, and all of this stuff will either help you or not. But one way or the other, you need to get that information to find out. There's going to be very little that you can actually do until you have that information.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I've taken up too much time, and I didn't mean to take up personality.
No, I was that wasn't to you. That was to somebody in the comments.
I thought so. Right.
No. My apologies. That was to somebody in the comments.
How do I get one of them cards off you anyway?
Right. What I've got now is I'm literally just gonna post the link. All you need to do is click that link. It'll open it in a new window, hopefully, and that will take you to a video that will explain how to get the cards. I do also do an information leaflet, an A4 information leaflet as well. But all of that information, I've just posted the link. I'll post it again in just a moment. But that link will take you to a video that will explain.
Thank you very much. Big respect. Now leave somebody else get on.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Thanks for the call.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Have a good Christmas.
You too. Bye-bye now. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Oh my God, it's you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, apart from that. Are you still worried? Are you still worried that I'm going to get you?
No, you don't worry me at all, Dee Dee.
Oh, you know I'm going to get you. You know I'll get you.
So, we'll see.
Yeah. I've got a massive tub of Vaseline and, lots of other wee bits and bobs that I will get you back for. I will not forget.
I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you won't.
Yeah, good evening to everybody who wants to say hi. sorry for what happened with Scott. I don't understand what's going on there. I looked at Scott as a brother. I don't understand where he was having the problem. I understand he's been getting trolled a lot, but I've got my spanner on me. The one, the only DD. Love me or hate me, what can I say?
Yeah, you're definitely the only double D with a spanner, so.
And who is a spanner? What can I say? I wanted to see how you are.
I'm
because
good.
You ask how everybody else is.
I'm good, me. If I wasn't, you'd know about it.
Yeah. Been to Boots?
The what, sorry?
Have you been to Boots?
No, I got what I needed at the beginning of the week, so I'm all right there. Then. So, yeah, all good.
And are you remembering that Teddy's lives matter? Because even though it was funny, you battering the hell out of little Ted, screaming, "Stop resisting!"
That wasn't me battering him. That was this one here. It was that one there.
Well,
right
yeah,
there.
well, yeah, but you were encouraging it.
I was just filming it.
You stood by and did nothing.
Yeah, if it was a member of the public, then I'd have done something. But it was a cop beating on another cop. So, what am I supposed to do? Get involved? Nah.
Oh dear. No, I just like I said, you've been quite quiet this week, and wasn't sure. I thought we might have heard from you on Sunday. So.
Yeah, I was going to come on Sunday. I had some things to do. I did say I was going to come on Monday, Tuesday. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire either. So I know today's not the best day to come on because of Alex Belfield's doing his live. And I know that a lot of subscribers here watch his stuff. So I know it's not the best time to come on. But I didn't want to leave it any longer. Otherwise, the weekend would just be far too much for me. 2 live streams and, getting my videos out is a bit much in such a short space of time.
Yeah. Hi, Rick Sanchez. Angela, the only reason I said that is quite obvious to people who sort of know what's been going on at the moment. I expected that there's going to be a few people who don't want to talk to me, but as Scott and I have been like brother and sister. I didn't expect him to be one of them at all.
Do you know what? I think he's
not
just
going to bring that on the dance channel.
No, I just think he's had, from what he said, he's had a bit of a rough time this week, and he's.
No, there's been other stuff going on as well, Dan, that you don't know about. So,
okay. Okay.
So just that's why was the really Scott Wild, because I didn't expect that. I mean that's fine, but I'm not going to bring that onto your channel. Like I said, I was more interested in you. And yeah, apparently Rick says that I'm egging it on, but it looks like the egg's got a wee bit fuzz on it. What the fuck's going on there?
Oh, very good. Very good. Cracking the yolks tonight, are we?
Yeah,
right, I see.
Yeah, just only yolking, just trying to scramble your brain.
So if I move my head over here, it's less shiny than if I put it there. There's much more reflection now. So I just thought if I grow my hair a bit, give myself a fringe, and it might help save you all from migraine from watching me.
Well, like I said, you know me, I'll always call in and say hi to you. You know how much I love you to bits.
And it's much appreciated.
Just look after yourself.
How's the wee one?
Oh, shit, as he jumps on me. So, just as you ask, he's not so wee anymore, put it that way. He's really big and teething at the moment, so
really?
My fingers are his chew toys. But, yeah, he's cute as hell, and you still can't say, give him a row, because then he just does something cute, and it's not fair with all those wrinkles. He just looks at you, and it's like, no, that's not fair. But Vic sits and laughs, because she's usually on the phone to me at the time, and she's like, yeah, you can't scold him. I'm like, no, I can't. It's not bloody fair. But I think I think you can do that with all dogs, but especially with bulldogs, you just see those little wrinkles on the nose, and it's like, that's not fair. You can't do that.
And how's the baby?
Oh, she is.
I can't let you go without asking how the baby is.
Yeah, she's great. She's actually £6 3 ounces now. So she's,
Really? Brilliant.
she's getting big. She's well, compared to what she was, yeah, she's doing great. I love her to bits, and it's great being a nana. Jackie, sorry if I'm boring you, but it does say that I can phone in and talk all the crap I like.
And you can do. Unless I get bored with it, and then I'll cut you off.
I don't mind if you cut me off. You love me, really.
Shh. Don't tell everybody.
But I'll let you go, and apologise for boring the chat. But thanks, Obermoggy. Love to everybody in the community, and I hope everyone's doing well.
Always nice to hear from you, Double D.
Okay, love you too. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye now. So 01515289590. If you want to share a story, if you want to whistle blow, I'll keep saying whistle blow till I get one. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hello. Hello. Maybe not. How you doing, Rick? Thank you. That's true, Rick. I mean, I believe altogether there's been 6 people that have tried the VACCINE that have now become ill over it. Oh, hello, unknown caller.
Yeah, right, peace are you?
I'm all right. Who's this?
It's John.
How you doing, John? You all right? Where you from?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, listen, yeah. Another day, right? I was watching a live stream, and the caller was going on about our big shot dog.
Going on about what? Sorry.
Our big shot dog.
I'm not sure. I remember. Okay then. But anyway, yeah, Rick. But I think one was it Bell's disease or something, which I think that's what it was. Without looking back, I can't remember exactly, but I was going to look into the how sort of the percentage of people get that kind of a disease, and then how many people had the VACCINE from that company, because it seems like an awful lot to get one particular type of disease from a vaccine at the same time. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hello.
Hello, Dan. It's Graham.
Hello, Graham. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I thought I'd just phone in and talk bollocks for a couple of minutes and maybe share something with you guys.
Why not, my friend? Why not?
Okay, going back, I don't know what the previous call was all about. Obviously, caught up with Dream Demon. I had to piss off out for a bit to get some essential shopping, like, typical single bloke. Beer, milk and tea bags, that's all I need.
You do realise that beer's not essential in the eyes. Graham, you do realise that... Graham, you realise that beer's not essential in the eyes of the police.
Sorry, Dan, I'm struggling to hear you, mate. Can you turn your volume up slightly?
Mine is up. Mine's up full.
Okay, I've got my phone on maximum. I'm struggling to hear you. Going back a couple or 3 calls ago, there was a guy that was asking about PAP cards and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Okay, and I saw that you posted the link. Now, what I do, on the rare occasions I'm driving, I try to not carry any ID, just in case I can get shafted. So what I do is I carry your PAP face mark exemption card with me, for a start, which worked out a treat tonight, even though I don't usually get challenged. If anyone does, I can show them that, because when I've got my phone at home on charge, perfect, covered. The other thing I keep on me is your foldable PAP card, which is to do with the vehicle stop.
Yep.
The statement for police, if I'm, stop and account, stop and search. It covers pretty much all eventualities other than what I might or might not remember under periods of duress, stress or panic, shall we say. Now, for anyone that sort of suffers Asperger's, having cards like this, whilst not necessarily being get out of jail free cards, they can help reduce a bit of pressure.
Of course.
And I'm taking into account various reports I've been hearing through yourself and elsewhere where there's been heavy-handed plod and so on and so forth. Well, I kid you not, worst case scenario, I might get hurt in the short term, but by Christ, Disability Discrimination Act 2010, for example, that's one worth remembering. Yeah, counterclaim, innit? One of them.
Of course.
So if my sort of borderline waffle is helping someone take something on board, that's great.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The one of the things that people should be doing with and I said this in one of my reports today, with every single COVID-related arrest, specifically, or fine, should be contesting them. Should be taking it to court and checking the legalities of it. The arrests that I've heard of, there's nothing that. I mean, there are some things within the wider COVID legislation, but under the general COVID regulations, there's nothing in there that I'm aware of that is an actual arrestable offence, apart from failing to give your details in order to avoid a fixed penalty notice. And so people being arrested simply for not having a face mask on, for example, or being at a gathering, for example, is, as far as I'm aware, unlawful.
However, going on from there, I think your next point to follow up from that would be, once you've given your details, you should then subsequently be de-arrested, correct?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
I thought I'd get that in before you did, but yeah. It's taken a few months for me to sort of wake up and smell the coffee and see what's going on. But your channel has been, well, such a great thing for people like myself. And I'm glad to see that your subscriber rate's actually creeping up. What are you on now? 27.6, 27.7?
27.6 at the moment. Still
it
short
was
of the 30.
last time I looked, but that's a definite improvement on where you were a few weeks ago, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, I know that for a little while, obviously with your time schedule and all the hundreds and hundreds of comments, it's become virtually impossible to keep up. But I did notice you were hearting some tonight. But again, it's time management and having time to actually wipe your own backside. So I get it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
So whereas some might feel, oh, Dan don't care, he's not sort of responding to us and this and that, there's only so many hours in the day. And the only way to overcome that is to get a researcher in once the funds are there. But then that in itself could be a problem. Because what if your researcher has a different point of view to you? You're not necessarily going to see or be able to put your own thoughts to your reports, because this is what makes the channel unique. It's you.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I mean, I do have some time saved because there's people like yourself, Graham, and some others like Charles and Dee, who will send me links to stories that I've not yet come across. Now, that saves me some time searching, which is really helpful.
Well, thanks for the shout out, but I wasn't looking for one. But max respect to
No,
those
I know.
submit stuff, and my apologies for any stuff that I send through that's either irrelevant or unreportable or whatever. You don't know if it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? You're sending me something through that you think might be helpful. I get stuff from Charles, for example, who sends an awful lot of stuff through that may not be something that I put on the channel, but I still get that sent to me anyway. It only takes me a few seconds to look. I read the headline, read the first paragraph or so, skim read it, and I'll know whether or not it's something I can use. So I'm still saving time. And for what it's worth, I always try to put some sort of a description, or even if it's only offering an opinion.
Yeah.
If it helps in any way, I will continue to do that, but I don't want to bombard you with too much shite.
No, keep it up. There is stuff that, that you've come across, stuff that I've not come across myself or that other people haven't sent me, so it is genuinely appreciated. And
partly more luck than judgment, but again, it's...
But going back to what you're saying, if I was in a position to have somebody, in a seat next to me, for example, and they, looking for this stuff, I can still write it if I'm saving the time researching it. So if somebody could give me a link, I could have a researcher and go, here's one I've just seen. I can look at that and I can start writing that out while they're looking for the next one, rather than either looking for all the links, taking a few hours looking for all of the stories, and then taking another few hours writing them. I could literally save that time looking and put that towards the actual putting it into content itself. But yeah, it's I'm appreciative of everybody who helps out with regards to coming across a link and sending it over.
Okie dokie. Well, look, I'm not going to dwell on all the convids and the kung flu and my thoughts about whether I should or shouldn't have a jab. Whatever information I've sent, it either gets reported on or it doesn't. Again, I know you have to be very careful about expressing an opinion, because the last thing we want is for you to get shut down for reasons.
Yeah.
So let me share a little story with the community. I've already sort of shared it with you, Dan.
Okay, just give us 1 second, Graham. Just
if
literally
I'm
1
not
second.
taking up too much time.
No, it's fine. Just give me 1 second. Jason, just so you know, I'm not ignoring that. I've changed the video slightly for the benefit of the channel. It's quite simply putting out long videos is great. It's easier for me, to be fair, but doing the smaller videos is all to do with trying to help with the channel and trying to help get the channel to grow. So that's the reason why things have changed slightly. Graham, sorry mate, go ahead.
That's all right. You don't have to apologise to me, Dan, and I'm going to have to go back and review the footage later to see what's been said about me while I'm not looking at my phone. You can call me anything you like, people, as long as it ain't late for fucking dinner, all right? Okay, so something came up a few weeks ago where another YouTube host, who is an auditor, not a lot of people know of him, but a few people, perhaps within your channel, will know of him. But I'm not going to sort of specify the channel because of watching police.
Okay.
However, them that knows, right, I need to try and stop me bloody Asperger's waffling and get to the fucking point, right? Okay, long story short, so this guy was out and about doing an audit, and because we sort of recently got in touch with one another and met up for a cup of tea, quite legally and legitimately, because he's now part of my support bubble.
Okay.
We decided to meet up in town and have a little wander. And just by chance, we happened to come across something that we'd never seen before. It was the old COVID marshals.
Okay.
Well, we knew that they were going to be about, but we didn't specifically hunt them down. We just came across them. So, kept a discreet distance and sort of, thought, well, right, okay, so, yeah. Just to confirm, they are about. Now, apparently there are 4 of them, and it's actually subsequently been reported actually on Kent Live, where a couple of them were followed around. Not the 2 that I happened to inadvertently meet up with, shall we say. Well, anyway, so we followed at a discreet distance, didn't encroach on their space, left to their own devices. They approached us. I just happened to be around. And I was indirectly threatened with the possibility of being faced with charges.
Right.
For stalking and harassment. Now, the fact is, it was a one-off. I just happened to be in the area, and because I knew the auditor, I tagged along to see what he was up to. Right.
Well, I mean, obviously, you I think you know as well as well, hopefully most people on here, things like stalking and harassment need to be a course of conduct. A single time meeting somebody out in the street and is not gonna fit the description of stalking or harassment.
Never seen them prior, never seen them since.
It probably wouldn't be classed as stalking or harassment even if it was twice on the same day. It I mean, they may try and do that, but I can't see a judge going, yeah, well, it was twice on the same day. I think you still need to have 2, 3, maybe more separate occasions. Now, I know somebody who I've been giving some advice to about stalking and harassment.
Yeah.
Over an ex-boyfriend. Now, they called the police. The person in question was sitting at the end of their road in a van, and they kept doing it. He keeps sitting there late at night in a van at the end of the road, and this is on multiple occasions. So I said to her, listen, you need to phone the police and log it. get it logged.
Sure,
Even
yeah,
if they're not going to do
absolutely.
anything about it, get it logged. Now, I've been there with her a couple of times when she's spoken to the police, and the police have said, there's nothing we can do. Even
But that
though
in itself seems, if it's a regular thing,
yeah,
that, to my way of thinking, is there's clear intent, there's a pattern, that's intimidation.
if there's no reason for the person to be there, then that proves, in my opinion, that if that, for example, let's put it this way, for example,
Sure.
if these COVID marshals work at an office somewhere, and you kept turning up outside that office, even if you didn't keep seeing the same person face to face, but that could be deemed as, if you don't have a legitimate reason to be outside that office all the time,
Yeah.
that could be deemed as harassment of some
Sure,
description.
yeah.
Now, you don't actually have to have an interaction with somebody for it to be classed as harassment. So the fact that the police have said to this person that there's nothing they can do is an absolute joke, in my opinion. So, I mean, this is something that I've got to follow up. I've got to write out the
Sure, yeah.
I've got to write out the CPS definition of it and the actual protection of persons, I think it is, Act legislation. I can't remember the exact name of it now off the top of my head, but I've got to write this out so that next time she phones the police, she can quote to them the actual law, and she can quote to them the CPS guidelines on prosecution for such offences. But I don't think, from what you've told me, that there is absolutely no way, or rather, I don't believe there is any way that they could do anything with regards to harassment or stalking over a single incident. And therefore,
It was a one-off as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
Yeah.
I went out with no malice whatsoever. The fact that I did actually interact with them, so be it. But it was a coincidental meeting.
Yeah, I mean, they
If they
can't
hadn't approached
even
us,
tell
we
you.
wouldn't have approached them. It's as simple as that.
They can't even tell you that you can't do something for a second time. So if it was like a first time thing, and let's just say the police were there and the COVID marshal said, "Excuse me, Mr. Constable, this person's harassing me," and the police come over and say, "Right, tell me what's going on, blah blah blah." They can't even say to you legally, "Don't go near that person again." After that first incident, it would have to be after 2 or 3 situations, and you'd have to fit that criteria, obviously, of the CPS criteria, in order for them to be able to turn around and then tell you not to do something.
That's all good to hear, Dan. And the reason I said I wanted to share this with the community, although you and I had a bit of private dialogue,
Yeah.
this just shows how authority will try and use clever wording or legislation to try and intimidate. Now, I don't usually intimidate easily, and I've never knowingly broken the fucking law. But that fucking scared me, because, well, it scared me. So I sort of backed off for a bit, and the person whose channel it was, I didn't even sort of post comment on or anything for a while, but he knew why I was sort of backing out of the auditing scene, so to speak. But now I know what I know, and because I'm not going out specifically targeting anything, if I just happen to be in the vicinity of a few people and we meet up, well, yeah, so be it. It's one
It's
of
the
them.
same as if you're
Simple
out
matter.
shopping. If you're out shopping and you see something happening and you want to record it for, for any potential evidence that somebody might need, then you're entitled to do that.
Absolutely. It wouldn't bother me who's being attacked. Now, I'm not necessarily going to step in and stop them, but on the other hand, I'm going to film the evidence so that the person that's actually causing the assault gets nicked, and it wouldn't matter whether it's the COVID marshal or the member of the public. Whoever's guilty of assault is the one that should get nicked, in my opinion. So I
Absolutely.
hold no malice. I'm independent, yeah?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Open-minded, fair and decent and reasonable. But a lot of these people don't seem to see that. Sorry, I'm not talking about the subscribers. I'm talking about, authority, shall we say.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
And
excuse me.
When
Sorry,
it
I
comes
just
down to
belched.
shutting down freedom of speech and so on and so forth, well, yeah, we all know that censors kick in and comments get deleted, and even on live chat, stuff's disappeared, which we covered the other week by chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I need to allow someone else to move on and get in on the call. I hope that I've managed to share something that was worthwhile with the community tonight. And just to reassure everyone, I'm feeling fine. One last question.
Go on.
I should have texted you to remind you, but someone called Debbie, not seen or heard from that person in weeks, asking how she is. If she happens to be on the live stream, or if a fella happens to be on the live stream, or whatever, and can get word that she's okay, because the last I heard she was in hospital, just to reassure us that she's fine.
Right.
And can't wait to roast a certain person in a future chat. She'll know who I'm on about.
Okay.
Am I making sense, Dan?
You are. I can't remember what the full username was.
Am I allowed to say the full name? Because it has now been shortened.
If it's a username...
It was a username. It's now been changed to a shorter username. But the original name, if I'm allowed to say it, I'll say it.
I don't see why not. If it was a username that's public
the original
knowledge.
username, to the best of my memory, was Debbie Karen Olsen.
Right, okay.
Now goes under the name of Debbie, to the best of my recollection, but I'm certain it's the same lass.
Right, okay. So, Debbie, if you're listening to this, or if you do listen to this at some point, give us a shout. Let us know how you are, whether it's in the comments on the live chat or whether you leave a comment if you're watching this post live stream. Then drop it in the comments underneath. But let us know. Let us know if you're okay. And
apart from anything else, I'm just waiting for her and I to sort of like get together on the old comments to roast a certain person that's been roasted on this channel before.
Right. What, me?
Yeah, I think you know who I'm on about, because you even did a standalone video one night, which I watched recently, which I wasn't aware of at the time until the other night. Initials of Papa Bravo.
Oh, Paul.
You know what I'm on about.
You mean
Got
Paul?
dodgy Twitter accounts and all this and that, and young boys
Right.
and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm on about.
Yeah, got ya.
Yeah. So everyone can join the dots now.
Yeah. All,
Right.
yeah, all understood.
I'll cut you loose to crack on with someone else.
No worries. Well, I need to go to the toilet, actually, so I'm going to have to go to a Be Right Back screen very shortly. So,
Are you going to put on some of that special music I sent?
I haven't lined any of that up yet.
Oh, you rotten sod. That's a shame.
My
Maybe for
apologies.
next time, eh?
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
And then people can sort of like slag me off for the dodgy music if and when it comes up, or in the meantime, I'm not guilty, all right? Okay, guys, I'll let you crack on, and that's great. It's been emotional.
All right, my friend. You take care of yourself.
Okay, thanks for your time, everyone. Cheers for now.
Speak
Take care.
soon.
Ta-da. Ta-da.
Bye. Okay, right. I've turned the sound off from the Skype because I'm not going to take any calls for the next couple of minutes because I've literally busted for a pee. So forgive me. Alf and Sue, thank you. Every time I get somebody that supports that way, I always pause the chat so I don't forget to say thank you after I finish on a call. But now I've got to go through all of the messages and see what I've missed. But I'll have to do that in a minute. But for now, forgive me while I leave you with some elevator music for just a minute or so. Okay, folks, and we're back in a room. And we are also back in the phone chat line thing. Jig, Ebob. You know what I'm talking about. 0151 5289 590 if you want to give us a ring, share a story, whistle blow, talk crap, call me names. I don't mind. Have at it. I did. I put the kettle on before I nipped in to make room for the next coffee. Easy. Not yet. Alice. Not yet. Go. Out. Go. Good girls. Oh, it's quiet tonight. Anything and everything inside job. Anything anyone wants to talk about. Providing it's not something that's going to get the channel shut down, then I don't mind. Poochies are doing very well, thank you, Janine. I hope you're okay. How you doing, Lucifer? YouTube first. Oh, it's not a turbo kettle. It just didn't have time to cool down from the last one properly. Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it's only me, Joshua here.
How you doing, Joshua? You all right?
Yes, I'm doing okay. Yeah,
Jolly
I'm doing okay. I've been watching some of your PAP reports, and yeah, some of it is quite not very good, disturbing, especially with a guy with Asperger's being tasered 10 times, which is
I know.
a bit absurd, isn't it?
Absolutely crazy.
It seems like that care in the community, I put it in the comment section as well, care in the community, I think, has been replaced by taser. So
you could well be right there. I mean, what better way to deal with somebody who you can't be bothered to get to understand, rather than a taser. And that's how it seems to go. It seems that, and I said it in, I think I said it in that particular report. It seems that the police's first course of action now for almost anybody is to go for a weapon of some description, rather than trying to what's the word? Communicate with somebody. And I think
they should de-escalate the situation as soon as possible. I thought that's the police's job. I thought that the police have got the power to put someone in a place of safety, under the Mental Health Act, instead of just tasering them. But obviously they don't do that, which must be, it's absurd, isn't it, to be honest, especially when the person's got autism.
Of course.
Which means, you have issues with socialisation, don't you? And obviously with the bipolar as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not very good, really. He wasn't harming other people either.
No, I mean,
he harmed himself. But
I did make it clear in that report that he did put his hands through a pane of glass, and he did cut himself. So he did have blood on his hands. I have to make that clear. I'm not going to hide. I can't.
That's harming himself, not other people, though. So.
No, that's very true. It's very true. But I think what you need to understand in a way is that if you were to approach somebody and you saw they had blood on their hands, you don't know what they've done. However, that being said, the police are supposed to be fit. They are supposed to know how to de-escalate a situation, and they're supposed to be trained in restraining somebody. Therefore, the police did not need to go immediately for a taser. They would have had a chance. He had nothing in his hands. They could see he had nothing in his hands. They could have kept a slight distance from him. They could have engaged with him. And just by engaging with somebody who's got autism, you can, every person that's got autism that I've met, you just by speaking to them, you can understand that there is something different about them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that might not be the case with everybody, because I've not met everybody with autism, but everybody that I've met that's had autism,
different. So,
has there's been a sign that there is something different about them, But the police are supposed to be trained to be able to deal with incidents and situations as they unfold, and therefore, in my opinion, the taser should definitely not have been used. They could have engaged with the person for a few seconds. We've seen it before. We've seen the police engaging with somebody with weapons for a lot longer than but mind you, that's the armed police, and the armed police do have a lot more training in that respect. But the normal police who have been given tasers, who are now ultimately armed police, because they are a firearm, or classed as a firearm, they should be trained to the same level as armed police are, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had to say in the report that the guy had blood on his hands. Obviously, they're going to see the blood. They're going to think, "What's he done?" But again, that doesn't justify the act of tasering somebody without trying to engage with them. But also, it certainly doesn't cover the fact that they tased him 10 times for a total of, I think it was 74 seconds, which could kill a lot of people.
Yeah, I do completely agree with you. I think, you shouldn't taser anyone, to be honest, like I said. So I think they need better mental health training if it's going to be happening all the time.
Right, and they need their own mental health assessments. Never mind how to assess people on the street.
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I think they probably need their own assessment for more than anything else as well. So yeah, I think they should have much more, better screening of police officers as well before they work with the public.
Yeah, absolutely. Could not agree with you more.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you watch Alex Belfield or anything like that, but I've also been watching him as well. I think police have forced a man to turn off his charity Christmas lights, or he gets a £10,000 fine. Like I said, I've watched it before, and I think, in my own opinion, that's overstepping the mark surrounding, Christmas lights. Why would the police tell someone, in their own home to turn off charity Christmas lights? And his, lights were all COVID secure. People could, a one-way system as well. So that wasn't very good either.
Well,
so I think there's been...
Sorry, that is a story that I've got ready for tomorrow. So I will be talking about that one tomorrow. Unlike Alex Belfield, it's very difficult for me. I don't know how he manages to find the time, to be fair, to do his videos the way that he does them, edit them, because I know he cuts a lot out, and then upload it as quickly as he does. For me, it's not as easy, and it takes me a bit longer to do stuff like that. So when I'm working on my reports for the day, I'm not looking at other reports until I've finished putting all my reports out, and then I'm looking at today's reports that I'll be speaking about tomorrow. So I am slightly behind some people, but I think that although Belfield, although his videos are informative, I think personally I put a bit more effort into mine, which takes me a little bit longer to put them out. But hopefully that is why people watch my videos. But that is something that I will be talking about in tomorrow's reports anyway.
Yeah, I think every YouTuber does things differently, don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, basically I think according to the Metro article, obviously, it's not always true. But obviously, Trevor Payne, 46, has been displaying festive lights outside his house for several years to raise money for mental health charities. But police were called to his property in Stratfordshire on Saturday evening after reports of a large gathering in the street. And I believe that gathering was not even big. I think it was only a small gathering.
Right.
But, like I said, I think he did according to the person, most people were wearing masks. They were following social distancing, and still the police told him to turn off the Christmas lights, despite people following the guidelines. So it just doesn't really make sense. And he was doing it for charity, so the charity's going to lose money as well. And it was all COVID secure fed as well. People were wearing face masks, and he was told to turn off his Christmas lights. It's a bit absurd, isn't it?
Of course, yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I know what they're going to say. They're going to say it's because he was encouraging people to gather. Well, the gathering is down to the people gathering. Okay, that's not down to the person who put lights up. It's the same as the tourist attractions in London, for example. Now, they're not put up specifically to make people gather and look at them. People choose to go and look at them. That is their responsibility, whether they go there or not. It's not the responsibility of the person who's put the lights up, in my opinion. The fact that the police have decided to step in and say you've got to turn them off, I believe that he's been told he can turn them back on now, by the way. I think is absolutely ridiculous, and it is an abuse of power. It's a threat and intimidation, and the police are so used to threatening and intimidating people that they simply fall on that as default. Do you know what I mean? Rather than the policing of old, where they'd go, listen, can I come in and have a chat? And we'll go in and we'll have a talk, and we've noticed the people outside, and I know it's not down to you. I know you're just trying to give a bit of cheer and this, that, and the other. Maybe you can, not have the lights on for as long, for example. That kind of thing. But none of that is there anymore. It's always a case of see this, turn it off, get it off. You're not allowed it. No interaction, no trying to it's a word I was trying to think of earlier and I can't think of it now. There's no attempt to reconcile things in a manner that works for everybody. It's always my way or no way. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but I think people should be able to have freedom to look around a couple of Christmas lights as well, and
Of course.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
And they were following the rules in the first place, so it's a bit absurd. Don't they have any other crime to focus on, maybe?
Well, I mean, it would also be down, no doubt, to some grumpy arse neighbour that's phoned them and said, "Oh, there's people gathering outside." Well, if they're not gathering in your front room with you, then what does it matter? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. I think it's about a bit more Christmas spirit instead of being grumpy as well. I think people are struggling with mental health during this time as well, and I think Christmas lights, help people with mental health anyway.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot more people suffering at the moment. I mean, we know this anyway. There's been a huge increase in mental health issues over the past months, and that's not going to change anytime soon, I don't think. In fact, I think it's still going to get worse.
Yeah, I think so as well. I do think so, because I think there's been a rise of antidepressant prescriptions, at the beginning of the pandemic. So people might take that medication throughout the pandemic just to cope, I reckon. That's what I think anyway. But yeah, some people have been taking that medication obviously before the pandemic, but and they might still do now. But what I'm trying to say, I think, like I said, mental health issues are rising due to the pandemic, because the number of prescriptions are rising, you know. So I think people are just struggling to cope at the moment, aren't they? And
Of course.
yeah, it's like it's like a coping mechanism for some people, isn't it? So.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you know, to be fair, I'm on medication for mental health issues, as everybody knows. I don't hide that fact. For me, when I first started taking them, they didn't do anything for me, and it was only when I got onto the latest stuff, which is the venlafaxine. I still don't feel that they're doing anything for me, but when I don't take them, I can feel that they have helped me, you know. So when I'm not taking them, I feel myself just plummet, and I feel. I mean, well, you've seen my videos that when I've come on here and I've been in a bad place, and that's what it does to me. And then obviously you have to keep taking them, and it does become an addiction in a way, because you have to take them, otherwise you can't manage and you can't cope, you can't get through a day. I don't like the fact that I'm taking them, but I literally have to. And once people start taking them, that's how they end up. And this is why I think it's going to get worse. People are taking things now in order to get through the day, because it's a bad time for everybody. When this is over, if this is over, or when it gets a bit easier for people will want to come off of that medication, and they're going to struggle even more than they're struggling now. And you know, as I say, I see mental health issues becoming a lot worse over the coming months, even the coming year or two.
Mm-hmm. If you don't mind me asking, how long have you been taking them? Or
I've been on medication for about 7 or 8 years. The venlafaxine I've been on for, I think, 2 years, I think.
I know friends that've been on, I think I know one person that's been on them for 10, 20 years, and, you know, I think some people use them to cope, don't they? So,
oh, indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Some people take it for even longer than you. I think I know a friend that's, you know, 10, 20 years or something, and some other people is over 5 years. So yeah. I do know people. So, yeah, but I think it's all about trying to get through the day for a lot of people, and people will try and cope the best they can, with or without, you know, any intervention. You know what I mean? So, but I'm hoping that everything will return back to normal, because they can't keep on having, you know, these lockdowns forever, because that's going to be having a much more of an economic impact on people. Well, and the mental health impact. I think we have to learn to live with a virus. I don't think it's never going to go away. Right?
They've already said, even with the AstraZeneca and the other so-called vaccine, they've already said. I mean, apart from the fact that people have become ill after taking the vaccine. Now, whether or not that is to do with the vaccine is a different story altogether, and I don't really want to get into that on this call, if you don't mind. But the fact that they've already said that the chances are it's not going to prevent you from catching it or passing it on. So for me, it's like, what is the point of taking it if it's not going to wipe it out? If there was if there was 100% evidence, if there was 100% evidence that you were going to take something and it was going to wipe it out completely, okay, and they could prove that, then I may consider having it myself. But the fact is that they've taken such a short amount of time to produce this thing. They hyped it up as it's, you know, everything will go back to normal once everyone's vaccinated. And now all of a sudden, now the vaccine's here and loads of people have said, I'll take it. Now they've turned around and said, well, actually, it's not going to do what we said it was going to do. But so many people have already committed themselves to taking it that they're going to take it anyway. And then we've got all of the rest of this stuff about, well, you know, you don't have to carry this card that says you've had your vaccination, but if you can't prove it, you're not going to be allowed to go here, there, and everywhere. And the whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous. And but again, this is all going to affect people's mental health. And I don't want to say that they're going down this route on purpose, but I have to say that everything that they're doing almost seems as if they're doing it on purpose.
I think people should have a freedom of choice if they want to take the vaccine or not as well. Obviously, some people want to take it, some people don't. But it seems like the government is trying to coerce people to take the vaccine, and I think they're giving in, aren't they? So
yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of peer pressure. But again, the thing is, the fact is that the normal virus has, the normal flu has a vaccine, supposedly, but yet people are allowed to choose whether they take that or not. People aren't forced to have that vaccine. They're told if you're of a certain condition, or if you have, this condition or that condition, then you should take it. But there's nobody dragging you in and forcing you under threat or intimidation to take it. So why they're doing it with this one, is beyond me.
Yeah, I think to do with mental health, though, I think we need to obviously live in a society where we're more compassionate and support each other as well. And I think with mental health, I know some, obviously mental health, but I do think that it should become normal in culture to express our emotions a lot more than what we normally do. I think expressing your emotions can be a sign of mental illness or weakness, can't it? So I think it's all about compassion and being able to, show, compassion towards other people as well.
Indeed.
I think it's like medicating the everyday normal or something like that. But yeah, sometimes it can feel like that, can't it? So
yes. Without doubt. All right, listen.
I'll let you go off, and I probably will let other people speak on the call as well, because obviously other people will want to speak now. So I think thank you very much, and I'll let other people
no worries.
ring in as well.
You look after yourself. It's nice to speak to you again.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hi, Dan. It's Jordan from Sheffield.
Hello, Jordan from Sheffield. How you doing?
Not bad. I think it's all a dream. It's all a dream, this, I wake up in the morning and think, fucking hell, I've just had a bad dream. And then I turn on the telly and think, fucking hell, it's real.
Well, there's your first mistake right there, Jordan, turning that the picture box on.
Yeah. But what I want to know is, they had this 97-year-old lady who first took the vaccine.
Yeah.
And she was on television. If this vaccine's so important, why didn't fucking old Boris take this vaccine on national television?
Absolutely. What about old Smallcock?
Well, I think he's not a stranger to a prick.
No, I don't think you're far off the mark there.
I think his head's not a stranger to a urinal.
No.
But the other thing is, do you know you were saying about G4S and Serco?
Yes.
They lost the contract with the government because they were tagging people and charging the government and not tagging them.
That's right. In fact, I think they even put a tag on somebody's wooden leg. Yeah.
So, and yet still you're going to give them powers of detention, arrest, detention, what makes me laugh is the police as well, tasering that chappie 10 times. The police have got powers under the Mental Health Act. They've got the 136 powers.
Yeah.
So they could have took him to a place of safety, instead of tasering him. I think, they can do it, so they did do it, they thought, fuck it, we'll just zap him one. I think it makes me laugh because it takes a hairdresser longer to qualify as a hairdresser than it does for a police officer to train as a police officer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how does that one work? The police officer have got all these powers and privileges and, You know, but yet still it takes longer to train as a.
Well, do you know why that is? That's because a hairdresser might cut your earlobe off whilst trimming your hair, and a copper, you know, they've only got the opportunity to kill you with multiple weapons. So that's why they get less training. They don't need the training. I mean, what's the worst they can do apart from kill you?
Well, I was watching your program with the PC William Sanson 3139. You know, I was sat on the settee watching your PAP report, and I felt the fucking the hit on my head from my settee. You know, that was banged out of order.
Yeah.
And then he's gone to court and he's pleaded not guilty. If that had been you or me, would have been banged upon remand.
Yeah, probably.
You know, how does that work? And he's on restricted duties.
Well, look at the one from Police Scotland that I spoke about today with the indecent images, and the judge turned around and said, you know, well, you know, it should be custodial, but because you were a copper, because you were a pillar of community, because, you know, ultimately because you hadn't been caught until now, that's ultimately what he was saying. We don't have to worry about, you know, locking you up because nobody knows what you've been up to before you got caught. So we'll just tell everybody that this is a one-off, and you know, and we won't give you a suspended sentence. We won't give you a custodial sentence. It's absolutely ridiculous. But if it was one of, well, I say if it was one of us, in general member of the public, I mean, but a lot of general members of the public are getting away with it as well these days.
I think if you want to get away with crime these days, just join the police force.
Of course,
you know,
absolutely.
They're a law to themselves, you know. They just make up the rules. If I've got no words. It's like that Mairead Philpott. I don't know if you've heard of that Mairead Philpott, who was charged and convicted and got 17 years for manslaughter. Do you know, for killing those kiddies in Derby. Do you know, like with Mick Philpott and.
Right.
She's out. She's out 5 days ago. Do you know, she's in a halfway house costing the taxpayers £600 a week. She's got clothes from Debenhams. You know, she's getting yoga classes.
Yeah.
New identity, but yet still there was that 86-year-old man. Was it? He was in jail for playing his music too loud.
Yeah. Absolute madness.
What's it all about? Do you know? I don't know. I'm just confused. You know, but Pat, keep up the good work. You know, and to be honest, I think you should run for some kind of political party yourself, mate.
I don't do politics, I'm afraid.
But the stuff what comes out your mouth is 100% genuine. You know, you're a top guy. You know, and I've got mental health issues. You know, I've been in and out of hospital for the last 20 years, mate, and been on that much drugs. When I walk down the street, I rattle.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
But you're the one that keeps me getting up in the morning. You know, mate. When I get up in the morning at 5, 6 o'clock, I'm on the YouTube. You know, looking at your videos. You know, because you're the one what gets me out of bed in the morning. You know.
Well, I'm flattered that you know that you like the channel, and you know I'm grateful that you feel that way about what I do. Ultimately,
I think you're a top guy. I think you know, you should be up there with Captain Tom Moore. You know, you should be getting a knighthood, mate. Do you know,
that's not going to happen. I call them out. They don't want to give something to somebody who's calling them out because it might be them next.
Yeah, but I think you're a top guy, mate, and you should keep up the work. And you know, there's a lot of people on here with mental health issues, and you're the reason a lot of us get out of bed in the morning. You know, because you give us hope. You know, what comes out of your mouth is, you know, like 100% the truth, and you're a genuine guy, so keep up the work, mate.
Well, I'd love to be able to do more than I do. Who knows? As the channel grows, maybe I'll be in a position to be able to do more, rather than, you know, bring the news to you and give you a place to discuss it. But we'll see how things go. Hopefully, the channel will grow and we'll get to a position where we can start putting the community behind the channel to good effect.
Yep. Keep up the good work and good night, mate.
And to you, take care. Thank you for the call.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Fluke Dog. Hello, Fluke Dog. Hello.
Hello, mate. How you going?
How are you?
Yeah, not too.
You've been trying to get through, I take it.
I'll just turn off the other thingy. Sorry, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I see you've been trying to get through. My apologies. I just take whatever one's next in the queue.
You're a busy man. You're a busy man. It is what it is, you know.
How you been?
Yeah, not too shabby. Listen, I just wanted to cover a few topics, mainly to do with auditing, because, and I just wanted to cut off from the COVID thing. But if you want to talk about that, I'm more than happy to chat about that. But the main part of the auditing thing was the fact that there's a lot of people, you know, suddenly, you know, auditing just kicked off in the UK and everybody started doing it. Everyone started getting on it. And I wanted to just say to you and your viewers why I started auditing. And it wasn't because of, you know, First Amendment auditors in the US, because while I was inspired by them, I was actually infuriated by the police's reaction to the Section 44 repeal in 2010.
Yeah.
Because the reason that came in was because a load of fucking amateur and professional photographers demonstrated at Trafalgar Square against the fact that they were being harassed constantly by the UK police.
That's right.
And using Section 44 to harass photographers on absolutely no basis whatsoever, apart from the fact that the police thought that photographers were terrorists scoping out places and surveilling and all this bullshit, right? That's how I got into it, because it wasn't until a friend of mine sent me a video of a guy that was harassed by a police officer, and he was actually, I can't remember the actual situation, but basically this guy was taking photographs of a car accident, and he was a genuine photographer, a genuine member of the press, and they taped him into the area.
Right.
So when he was taped into the area, the police officer then came over to him and said, "You can't take photographs here." And he said, "Well, I was already here. Well, I was here when the accident took place, before the police even turned up. So, you know, where do you want me to go?" kind of thing. And the police officer snatched the camera out of his hand, started deleting his images, which he couldn't do. And this was in 2005. That's 5 years after their guidance came out.
Yeah.
Right now, and he went through his camera, and then the copper actually threatened to knock him out. You've probably heard the story.
I think I have. Off the top of my head, I don't remember fully.
And apparently, the police officer was sent for retraining. He only had 5 years to learn the guidance. As I remember putting
the training's not about. It's not about learning what they've done. It's about learning how not to get caught next time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, you know, if you fuck up, we'll find a way of getting you out of the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Is what it is. So, and what I wanted to say was, I've had a fair few detractors over the years, you know, and what I wanted to say is I've been a photographer since I was 17 years old. My first ever SLR I bought was when I was a P30T when I was 17 years old. That's 1987.
Right.
So I'm not somebody that just went out and dashed out and bought a camera and started out going photographing and sort of tried to just start a YouTube channel because I could see like some sort of, you know, narcissistic way of getting my face out there.
Yeah.
It wasn't about that. The whole point of it is I've been taking photographs for over 30 fucking years. And I actually gave up photography when I took up golf, strangely enough. I got really addicted to golf, so I stopped taking photographs, and that was in 2002. No, sorry, 2012. And then it wasn't until a couple of years later that a friend of mine actually sent me that video, and I thought to myself, this is fucking ridiculous. And that's when I started researching it, thinking, well, why are these photographers getting harassed and blah blah blah, and etc. etc. And I thought to myself, right, that's it, I've had enough. You know, I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting this terrorism bullshit. You know, I woke up to that years ago. And so that's when I started the channel, because I thought to myself, right, I'm going to go out and do these audits. I'm going to go out and test the fucking police, and I'm going to test my rights to make sure that I've got a right to be doing what I've been doing for the last 30 years. Why should it be all of a sudden now that everything I do is considered terroristic or suspicious or this, that, and the other?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you know me well enough, Fluke Dog. We've interacted with each other for you know, since I came on to YouTube a couple of years ago now. I may not go out and do audits myself. I tried once, rather, and it wasn't for me. I didn't want to do that. But for me, I still believe, unlike some people, I still believe that if you have a right to do something, then you should be able to do that without interference. Yes, there are some people that will go out specifically to try and incite a situation. But again, I think that providing they're not breaking the law, and if somebody breaks the law, I'll call them out on it. And you know, even if it's myself, if I do something to break the law and I get caught out, I'll put my hands up to it. But I think that if people are allowed to do something, I don't see why it should be criminalised just because people may not like it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I would say is, you know, there's another channel in the UK. I'm not going to name names, right? But there's a few channels in the UK that literally took up auditing for clicks and views. They didn't take up auditing because they were standing up for photographers' rights. They did it because they saw a little bit of a niche there. They latched onto the First Amendment auditors in the United States, and they thought, I know, I could start a YouTube channel and be a narcissistic twat and fucking go out sticking my camera in people's faces, right? Now, to be honest with you, as a photographer myself and somebody that is actually camera phobic myself, right, I wouldn't like somebody to stick a camera in my face, and therefore I wouldn't do it to anybody else.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes on YouTube and accuses me of sticking a camera in somebody else's face to get a reaction, right, I completely disagree with that, because I wouldn't want that done to myself, and I wouldn't do it to anybody else. As the old saying goes, don't do unto others as you wouldn't want done to yourself.
Right.
So, and anybody can go through any of my audit videos, right, and see if I've ever stuck my camera in somebody's face. Let me know, and I will withdraw that video.
Okay.
Because I've never done it, and I never will do it, and I never have done it. And when somebody slags me off on YouTube saying I'm going out to cause a reaction, I can't justify. Not justify. Justify is not the wrong word. I can't, you know, find out how people are going to react to me until I stand there just with a camera on a tripod. It's up to them how they react. It's not down to me how they react.
Yeah.
I've put up videos where I've had pass after pass after pass, where people have not given me any shit at all, and I've still put up those videos. But all those videos get like 700 views, 800 views. When I get a fucking copper giving me a load of fucking shit, or a security guard giving me a load of fucking shit, they get a shitload of videos, a shitload of views.
Yeah.
And that's not down to me. It's down to their reaction, not the fact that I'm doing anything different than I got in the past videos.
Yeah.
When I put a video up and they pass, I still put the video up. So I'm not doing it for a reaction if the reaction is absolutely correct.
Okay. So, I mean, what is this? Obviously, something's happened to you recently. It sounds like somebody's been saying something about you recently. Is that what this is about? Because it seems to me that you're almost responding to something that somebody said in a way.
Not that one person said. I've had it in comments. I've been doing this for 3 years now, so it's not like just like one person commented or one person said something, right? It's the fact that it's almost like someone saying auditors do this and they do it for this reason, and they've got no concept of the fact that yes, some people do go out there and just buy a camera and go out there and start filming being an arsehole, not realizing the fact that I didn't start doing it just because I wanted to be an arsehole. I wanted to do it because I'm a photographer. I have been a photographer for over 30 years as an amateur. And I didn't do it because I did it because it was a reaction to the way the police treated photographers. And that was my reaction to that police, overreach. And that's why I started my channel. I didn't start it because, I just wanted to start a YouTube channel and get a reaction and go and stick my camera in people's faces, because I don't do that. I just don't do it. I wouldn't want it done to me, therefore I don't do it to other people.
Yeah.
And I remember watching one of the guys up north, and he went to DHL, was a distribution centre. And while he was there, a couple of the employees complained to the security guard. And the security guard obviously came out to him and said, look, I've had a couple of complaints from the staff, but obviously you're out in public, you can do what you want, so don't worry about it. It's exactly their policy. And the guy up north said to him in a cheeky manner, the security guard said, can I help you with anything? And he said, well, look, tell you what, a cup of tea wouldn't go amiss. And the security guard actually went back into his shack and made him a fucking cup of tea.
Right.
And brought it out to him. So where does the reaction come from? The reaction comes from the people.
Of course it does.
I can't constitute how they're going to react to me. It's up to them how to react. And I've been through I've been to Securitas, Serco, G4S, all of their fucking training documents all say pretty much verbatim the same thing. What they're supposed to do is take the time of the incident, a description of the photographer, the date, and then escalate it to their security manager. That is their protocol. So why is it after video after video after video after video, none of these security guards can actually fucking revert to their training? And on top of that, why is it the police turn up constantly and their own training says to them that they're not supposed to deal with photographers as being immediately suspicious?
Because none of them bother to take on board what they're trained. That's why. As soon as they're finished training, it's like a driver. Okay, it's like a driver. You're taught how to drive, yeah, and you're taught how to drive properly, 10 to 2 and all that stuff, right? 2 hands on the wheel, blah blah blah. Yeah. Give it a couple of months after you've passed your test. You're driving with one hand on the wheel, one hand on the gear stick. Do you know what I mean? Arm out the window and all that stuff. And that's what happens. It's bad practices that people pick up. But the thing is, the training, from what I can tell, the training is not as often as it should be. I know it's definitely not at the moment, because I said in a report the other day about training. I think it was to do with Scottish police, are about 12 months behind. But they should have a refresher on certain things at least once a year, at the very least once a year, And they should all be given when there's new information, when there's new guidance. They should all be issued with that guidance and then tested on it. Not just given to them and gone, well, that's the new guidance, see you later, bye-bye. Because it gets put away and forgotten about and they carry on with their bad habits. And that's what it is now. Police and security and many other people are today living their lives based on their fees at the time. Rather than what they should be doing. It's all based on how they feel at the time, and this is where we're getting problems, especially with the police. And it costs people's lives ultimately when it comes to the police. But when it comes with security, what do? As you've already said, they'll call the police. The police will come out. So whatever you do, you've now got to deal with the police because somebody doesn't quite like what you're doing.
Yeah, and this is the other thing I wanted to mention, which is, I think, kind of important, is not only the fact that they can't even apply their own protocols, not only the police and security staff, but the police have had 10 years to adjust to this. And all they do is just abuse their fucking powers. As you say, police abusing powers, All they did was, when Section 44 was repealed in 2010, and they was given that guidance is one sheet of A4 paper. Yeah. It's not 24 pages of legal guidance. It's one sheet of A4 paper, and you've had 10 years to learn it.
Oh, right? Of course.
And exactly what they did was they reverted to Section 43 and just abused that instead. And we've had to suffer 10 years of that fucking abuse as well. So what, do we have to go back to the European Court of Human Rights or up to the High Court in the UK and take the police back to court again? And what we're going to do is they're going to repeal Section 43 and then they're going to invoke another Section 42, and they're just going to abuse that. So if we don't stand up to it and we don't stick, and as a photographer, if we don't fucking stick it on them, to a certain degree, then they're just going to keep abusing it, and they're just going to, and it's not just photographers' rights; it's everybody's rights. Your right to freedom of, not to give your information. Look at the barracks audit that I did, right? And in 2 days, we had at the barracks audit, we had 4 police officers, a police sergeant, and a police inspector for 2 people not breaking the law.
Yeah.
Right. And the only reason I was held in handcuffs for 2.5 hours because I wouldn't give my ID. Well, simple as that.
I had a similar situation, didn't I? My situation was on outside the police station. I had the inspector out, I had the sergeant out. I had there was 8 police altogether. Again, wasn't doing anything wrong. They clearly lied about the reasons for wanting my details, because they said that they'd opened the file gate at the other side of the compound because people were too scared to come out of this gate, but yet people were coming out of this gate while they were talking to me. It's all about intimidating you so that they feel big and hard, and that they've won the confrontation. We already know that police are taught never to leave the scene of a situation without asserting their authority. And unfortunately, if that means abusing a piece of legislation, then they'll do that. And the reason they'll do that is because they know that they can, after they've wasted your time, turn around and go, well, we're not going to charge you, and you're supposed to be grateful for it. You're supposed to be grateful that they're not going to charge you when they're using powers that they shouldn't be using anyway. But most people don't understand that.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. It's like the only way this can come down to constables at the end of the day is the hierarchy is saying every time you have an interaction, get somebody's details, get them on the computer, get them on the police national computer. It's all about getting people's details, just like it is with COVID. That's no different. That's all about contact tracing, blah, blah, blah. It's all about getting people's details, getting them on the database, getting them on. And we don't need to have that. This is fucking Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And I saw that 5 years ago when I first started watching, especially not only the First Amendment orders in America, but the Second Amendment orders in America. That was even worse. They were treated even worse than the First Amendment orders, because the Second Amendment orders had every right to carry their guns, and all they got was 20 cops sticking guns in their faces. And that's like the government saying you've got absolutely every right to carry a gun, but we're going to stick a gun in your face until you give us your ID.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and that's what pisses me off. It's not necessarily the photography or the guns or the First Amendment or whatever it is. It's the fact that they're going to abuse their powers and privileges, you know, to deprive you of your right to privacy because they just don't like what you're doing. Or their bosses have told them, I don't give a fuck what it is. You know, if somebody's taking a photograph in a public place or someone's carrying a gun or whatever it is, we've got to subvert their rights. And that's where I'm coming from. And I don't think people understand that.
Well, I mean, when I got arrested, I set up the petition, about repealing Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. Unfortunately, that I don't promote it. You know, I put stuff in the description, and I very rarely promote stuff I put in the description, which is probably why it's not done particularly well. But you know, the only way things are going to change, like it was with the Section 44, there was a massive protest. There was so many people it couldn't be ignored, and unfortunately, we don't have it within certain other areas. There's not enough people that care as much about these things to, you know, to give their time to try and stop it from happening anymore. You know, the Section 44, there's too many people that think, not Section 44, Section 43, there's too many people that think, oh yeah, but you know, it could save us from a terrorist. Well, yeah, but surely you don't want to be branded a terrorist in public when you're not. So therefore, you would need to show some kind of evidence or suspicion that you are doing something that a terrorist would do. Do you know what I mean? There's just too many people that will go, oh yeah, but, instead of going, hang on a minute, this ain't right, and coming together. And that's what we need to do.
You're absolutely right. And I think what happens is, this is where I join up my YouTube audits with COVID-19, right? And that is acquiescence. All those photographers that demonstrated in Trafalgar Square in 2010 wearing T-shirts saying, I'm a photographer, not a terrorist. Where are they today?
Yeah. I suppose, a lot of people think they've done their bit.
The same thing happens now. It's like when people just go, oh, okay, well, because you're going to abuse Section 43 and you're going to abuse, COVID legislation, we'll just give up our rights and say, okay, yeah, we'll just fine you, just give it up. Where are those 10,000 photographers that, you know, demonstrated in Trafalgar Square 10 years ago? Where are they today? They just acquiesce. And the more we acquiesce, the easier it is for them to take our rights away, whether it's under COVID legislation or vaccine legislation or even photography legislation. It doesn't matter. The easier we give up our rights and stick our cock out on the fucking guillotine, the quicker they'll cut it off.
Yeah, I agree. I can't disagree with that at all.
And that's why I keep fucking fighting for it. And I haven't done a lot of audits lately because it's been very difficult for me to get out. But it is what it is, you know. And I didn't start this because I wanted to be a narcissistic prat that went out there and stuck my camera in people's faces, because I've never done that and I never will do that.
Yeah.
And for anybody to accuse me of doing that or going out winding up security guards, I don't wind up security guards. They wind themselves up. And they can't even go by their own fucking guidance.
No.
Their own training. And the police can't go by their own training. It's not me doing it. I can't govern what people do in front of my camera. It's down to them. Either they go by their guidance or their training and everything else and do it properly. You know, two coppers that I filmed in Kent when I got approached after we filmed the Metropolitan Police's training base in Kent. The two coppers that came up and had a word with us about it, and I explained that the security guards didn't show their security badges and blah blah blah. And we had security staff asking us for ID, which is what the fuck is going on there. The coppers were absolutely fine with us. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely fine. They were like, no, they should know better. They were talking about the security staff. They were saying the coppers should absolutely know better. The security staff actually should know better, and we'll go down there and have a word with them. They never asked for our ID, and even when he did come back and said, sorry lads, do you mind if I ask? I think I already know. Actually, his specific words were, I think I already know the answer to this question, but do you mind if I ask you for your ID?
Yeah,
and we said no, and he went, fine. Yeah. Right? That was an absolute pass as far as I'm concerned. Right? I stuck that video up on YouTube, and it had over 250,000 views, and every fucking comment was absolutely spot on. Every comment was, what a brilliant couple of coppers. What a brilliant couple of police officers.
Yeah.
That's how the police should do their job. So I'm not doing it to make people look like shit. I can only do it to make people look like how they want to react to the camera. There's two brilliant police officers that done a brilliant job and got fucking brilliant comments on the channel. And probably one of my most viewed videos I've ever put up. To have, at the time I had like 5,000 subscribers. So to get 250,000 views with 5,000 subscribers speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And it speaks for itself because the police did the right fucking thing.
Right. Well, I mean, as I say, I can't disagree with that. I saw that video that you're talking about, and the police were very well behaved in that video, and it's a shame that there aren't more out there that realise that the less time they give people, for example, if they don't start trying to abuse people and they just simply allow people to do what they're allowed to do, the less they're going to appear on YouTube, the less they're going to get lambasted online for abusing people and abusing people's rights. But they just don't seem to care. And I don't know, apart from what I'm doing, which is trying to highlight as many of these corrupt fuckers as possible to people that might.
And you do a fucking good job of it, mate.
Well, I mean, there's a lot that people won't even get to see or hear about because it's not in the mainstream media, and therefore, the more that I can highlight, and I wish I could do more than I do, but the more that I can highlight, I'm hoping that they're gonna realise as the channel grows and I get more subscribers and more people, making complaints when they see something they don't like, for example. I'm hoping the police will turn around and go, well, actually, do you know what? I don't want to be the next person on that channel. So I better buck my ideas up.
Yeah, that's a good point as well, because I remember I did an audit at Gatwick Airport, and while I was there, I didn't get any hassle or anything else, but I bumped into two guys that were actual fucking, real proper aircraft nuts. Do you know what I mean? And they weren't video recording; they were just literally taking photographs of planes as they were landing and taking off, and they were proper absolute plane spotters. And I remember having a conversation with them, and I said to them that, do you get any grief off the police while you're here taking pictures? And he goes, it depends on the officer and what mood they're in. Some of us kick us off and tell us to move, and others just don't completely ignore us. And while we were there having that conversation, a police officer actually pulled up and just sat in his car and had his lunch while we were all standing there right on the perimeter fence of Gatwick Airport taking pictures, and didn't say a fucking dicky bird to us. Now, it shouldn't be down to, how a copper feels. Did he get a blowjob from his missus the night before? Has he had a ding-dong with his boyfriend? Or whatever it is. It shouldn't be the fact that because he's got the arseache, because, his mate didn't meet him for a beer the night before and he's got the arseache, or he's had an argument with his wife, that I should be treated differently from the next police officer that did get a blowjob from his wife.
Yeah.
That's not how it should work. It's like, they should be held to a higher standard. They are public servants at the end of the day, you know.
Of course.
And everybody should be treated the same, regardless of how they feel, or if they've had a bad day, or if they just, whatever it is not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. And that's where I'm coming from.
Well, there's definitely changes that need to happen, but again, I don't, unless more people come together and realise that there is a real need to do some of these things, and to stop, as you say, acquiescing, we're not going to get anywhere. So hopefully between other channels who are showing misdeeds, shall we say, and the Police Abusing Powers channel, hopefully in time we'll garner enough support to be able to make some changes and turn around and say to people, look, this needs to stop. We've got enough people that agree with us. Let's get a petition done. We get 100,000. Like Crime Bodge, for example, has got 200,000 subscribers. Now, he could turn around. Most of them subscribers love the stuff that he does. He could turn around at some point and use that to his advantage and say, look, I've set up this petition. We need to get it in front of Parliament at 100,000 signatures. That's only 50% of his subscriber base. He could have things done, up and discussed in Parliament in no time. And with the right amount of backing, things can change. But again, unfortunately, it's a case of too many people are happy to simply roll over and take what's being dished out. So we need more people to open their eyes and see what's going on.
And I agree with you 100%. And I've got my own beef with Crime Bodge to a certain degree. But I don't dislike the bloke. I'm still subscribed to his channel. I'm still subscribed to Civil Disobedience, yourself, and everybody else. I've not unsubscribed me. I'm subscribed to Live Free, Marty Blackburn, all the other guys. Do you know what I mean? I'm still subscribed to all of those guys. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, as well, is we're on to a certain degree. To a certain degree, we're on a platform that is so shadow banning everybody. I've watched your videos where you put up brilliant PAP reports, and you get 4,000 views. Yeah. And you've got 27,000 subscribers. So you're telling me you're not being shadow banned?
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
And I've watched Crime Bodge's videos where he's got 13,000 views in a week, right? But he's got 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And so like we need to get over that as well. We need to realise that we can all sit here saying, I've got 10,000 subscribers, I've got 15,000 subscribers, I've got 200,000 subscribers. But if you're only getting 4,000 fucking views and you've got 200,000 subscribers, you've got to question the platform you're on.
Yeah.
And that's why, you can't, it's not like, say for argument's sake, Crime Bodge has got 2,000, 100,000, even if 50% of his subscribers filled a petition and filed it into the government, for whatever reason. Not that I believe in government, but that's another question. That's another story. But even if he did, he's not going to get 100,000 fucking signatures because only 8,000 people have watched a video that he's just put up when he's got 200,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So it's an irrelevance to talk about subscribers and as a sort of, as a way of, kind of building a sort of a base to sort of fight back against the very people that are abusing our rights as it is.
Yeah. Listen, Fluke, I don't mean to be rude.
Mate. You get on. You get on, mate.
33 minutes now, and I enjoy talking to people, so don't get me wrong.
You're cool, mate. Sorry, I do like to blabber on, so I'll end the call, mate. You crack on and get on with someone else.
No worries. Well, listen, I mean, I do this phone in every time I do a live stream now, so, feel free to, if you've got something to talk about, give us a ring at another point, mate.
All right, mate. Nice one.
All right,
Dan, take it easy. Look after yourself. Keep up the good work.
You too, my friend. Take it easy.
Ciao.
Bye. Right. Forgive me, guys. My ears are now burning. So I'm just going to turn that off for a moment. Whoa. I do want to say, I do understand that some of you guys watching this might not like what other people might have to say when they're phoning in and calling. But please, can we have some respect for people? If it was you that was calling in and you had something you wanted to share and people were calling you out for being boring or whatever it might be, then I'm sure you would not like that, and I'm sure you'd have something to say about it. So the ultimate thing with this channel is about community, right? I don't want people thinking that they can't come and share a story on here because they're going to get the piss taken out of them by other people. So please, let's just all have a bit of respect. I think Double D, as you've done an incredible job there, and you've been very restrained. I know there are other spanners who would have kicked some people out already. But you've been very restrained, and I very much appreciate that, because I do believe people should have their freedom. I do believe people should have a freedom to be able to say what they want to say. But when it comes to taking the piss out of other people because they're sharing a story or getting something off of their chest, I've got to say that does piss me off a little bit, because people shouldn't be slagging other people off because they've got something to share. How you doing, Johnny Down Under? Welcome to the channel. CEO Pinnack movement. I never mentioned any names. All I'm saying is, if you don't like something, you don't have to engage with that person. You know, it's even if somebody that says something in the comments, if you don't like what somebody's saying, you can quite easily block that person. You won't see their comments then, or you can ignore them. You know, be the bigger person and just ignore them. That's what I do. Well, sometimes I'll call them out over it, but then I can do that because it's my channel. But if I was on somebody else's live stream and somebody was saying something that I didn't agree with, I might initially say, well, I don't agree with that, and try and have a discussion. However, I would not get into a situation where I was getting pissed off by them, and I wouldn't start slagging them off for it. So, you know, if you've got an issue with something somebody's saying, ignore it. Be the bigger person. Just ignore it. Well, my point is, CEO Pinnack movement, is that although you don't block people, and I very, very rarely block people because I can ignore them if I need to, but the point is, it's all well saying that I don't block people because I believe in free speech, but you still have a responsibility when it comes to free speech. And I personally just think if you've got an issue with somebody, you don't want to block them because you believe that they should be allowed to say what they want to say, and then just don't get into it with them, and then you can't get pissed off, and you can't get then screamed and shouted at, and everybody can just do and say what they need without people falling out or slagging people off. Right, ladies and gentlemen, what have I been on now? Nearly 3 hours I've been on. I am going to wrap this up in about 8 minutes. So about 10 to 12, I'm going to be wrapping this up, I'm afraid. I realise it's not as long a live stream as I would normally do. However, I've been quite busy over the weekend and the start of this week, so I need to get my rest. I certainly need my beauty sleep. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start wearing my hat like that. And although some of you might prefer that look. I can't see what I'm doing, so I can't. Alec, no problem. You take care of yourself. Thank you. When do I do my live streams? Normally, Johnny, normally my live streams are on a Sunday or Monday. In fact, 99% of the time they're on a Sunday. I didn't get one out this week. I was going to do it on Monday, but I didn't get it out on Monday either because I've just had so much to do. So rather than leave it till the end of the week, I've done this one today. But normally my live streams are on a Sunday starting at 8 o'clock GMT, 8 p.m. GMT. If it's not on a Sunday, which it normally is, then it will be generally on the following day, on the Monday. But yeah, so yeah, feel free to come on anytime, and thank you for deciding to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, they certainly get warm in those headphones, that's for sure. Yes, Alpha and Sue, we definitely need to. I've met, I think, only 2 or 3 people locally who watch the channel. But yeah, it's nice to meet people in person, and we'll have to sort something out for that coffee, definitely. Lucifer, so you're one of the 6%, are you? Thing is, Lucifer, and you know, and I'm not explaining myself, it's just that I think it's only fair that I explain why, or what's happening, or what's happened rather, since I changed the format slightly. I fully appreciate that some people don't like the shorter reports, and I know that there's a lot of people that miss the long reports. However, for the channel, for the sake of the channel, and a bit of my sanity, the shorter videos are, through the analytics, proving a lot more, what's the word, well received by people. I'm getting higher viewer rates on each video. I'm getting longer watch time on each video, and all of this stuff helps when it comes to YouTube promoting videos now and again. And that's ultimately where, I mean, I've kind of plateaued at the moment. I saw a really an increase over a long period of time that was quite steady. All of a sudden I've plateaued, and subscribers and things like that, watch time and all of that kind of stuff has just got stuck. And so in order to grow the channel some more, I've had to make some changes. Ultimately, what I want to do as well is I want the channel to be able to provide me an income, ultimately. Now, probably not going to get to that situation till I've got hundreds, 200,000 subscribers like Crime Bodge. But it would be nice, and that's where I would like to be at, because this takes up some of my time, and if I can put all of my time into doing this without having to worry, then that's where I'd like to be. But in order to do that, I need to make these, some slight changes. I will do the odd longer video, hopefully once a week, but ultimately the shorter videos are having a positive impact on the channel. What I will be doing, Lucifer, and I know I've been saying it for a while, and it's very difficult to find the time and the funds to do it, is to get the website sorted out, where I'll have an opt-in box for people to have notifications directly from me. So when I'm about to go live, or half an hour or an hour before I go live, I'll be sending out an email to everybody. When I'm uploading a new video, I will send an email to everybody myself. That way I know that people will be receiving those notifications. But again, unfortunately, it's a bit of a waiting game until I get to a position to be able to pay for that. Yes, Ian, I did have a spike and the curve flattened, and I'm waiting for the second wave. That's absolutely right. Yeah, John, and to be fair, 50% of people that I asked on a poll on my community page said the same thing. They like the shorter videos, but they'd like to see a longer video now and again, and hopefully that's what I'll be able to provide for people. Human husbandry, I hear 8 out of 10 people hate statistics. Take it easy, Danny. Thanks for jumping on. The dogs, don't worry. Can't end a live stream without getting the girls on. No, you're right, human husbandry. You're absolutely right. Right. Let's get this out of the way. Hey. Daisy. Alice. Come on, fatty. Here. Hello. Look, hello. Hello. Come on in. Come on. Hello. Shh. I promised to see you. Hello. Hello. Your tail's hitting that is annoying, so mind yourself, mind your feet, mind your feet, mind your feet. Come this side because there's less for you to knock. Got me right in the belly button. No, she's a pointer, Richard. She's a pointer, but everybody says she looks like a Dalmatian, but she's definitely not a Dalmatian. Hello. Danny gets Fatty's turn now. It's Fatty's turn. Fat. Oh, hello, Fatty. Hello. Hello, baby. Hello. Oh. That's very true, Dee Dee. Right, okay, out you go. Out you go. I'm going to run your feet over if you don't go out. Come on. Out you go. Good girl. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, in is out, is in between us, and Dee Dee. Thank you again for joining me this evening. Always a pleasure. Thanks to those of you who called in. Thanks to those of you who have been engaging in the community. Don't forget to stay safe. Don't forget to look after each other, not just yourself, but look after each other, because we need each other more now than we did last year, and I reckon we're going to need each other even more next year than we do this year. Don't forget to film the police, and don't forget to film those other pesky officials. And I shall see you all in tomorrow's PAP reports. Thanks once again, and good night to you all.